Welcome down to Blackpool, and we are here for the Illuminations in 2022. It's one of my favourite times of the year that I can come along here and just enjoy the atmosphere. The atmosphere is always fantastic with lots of people around, and it helps particularly that it is a fairly clear night here in Blackpool. Now the music's just come on there because the projections will be on shortly, and as you may be able to see, there are some new lights in the background there. Down here we've got some new neon lights. We've also got some new neon ones over here as well. You can see the beautiful Blackpool Tower lit up in the background, as well as these sort of like ball things you can walk through. I don't really know what they are, but they've got a new light display for this year as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk between here and the pleasure beach, and then we're going to get in the car and we're going to drive down the other end so you can see the other bits and pieces. It's something we do every year. We thoroughly enjoy doing it. So yeah, just take 10 minutes out of your time, have a look at these fantastic lights. If you've never been to Blackpool, honestly, these are on for sort of 3 or 4 months now. Highly recommend you come and experience. I mean, they call it the Golden Mile, but I think it's 6 miles. 6 miles down here in which the lights are on, and they are just fantastic. And the atmosphere, I'll tell you, nothing beats it on an evening like this. So yeah, we're going to take you down the strip now. There won't be a lot of talking. We're going to show you the lights before getting in the car, driving up the other end and signing off. So Lightpool at Blackpool Illuminations, they do projections onto the front of the tower building here, which last year included Sooty and Sweep. We didn't hang around for too many, to be honest. I don't know whether or not it mixes up at all, but we'll hang around and see what we can see. In fact, there we go, look. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? It's Sooty and Sweep. So it starts over here and then moves right the way across, covering both windows. And you can see Sooty in the middle. I have to do my own commentary because there don't appear to be any sound. So it looks like he's killing him over there on the right. Panda's just standing there watching. Sue, isn't it? Sooty, Sweep and Sue. So Sue's standing there watching Sooty kill Sweep. He's magicking him away now. He doesn't like him. Tram. Right, are they dead yet? No, they're still going. There we go, we've got some sound. There's a roller coaster. Doesn't quite line up. I would say actually it's out by a fair bit. But still looks incredible when you come along here and you see the projections on the front with Sooty and Sweep. And then of course you see that amazing Blackpool Tower there. It's a shame it's not open, so you can come down and have a look. And of course that's projected all from over here, sponsored by the radio. So yeah, we're not going to catch too much of Sooty and Sweep, to be honest with you, but we do want to show you it because, you know, 5-6 years ago when we used to come, there never used to be projections or anything down here. So this is fairly new and entertaining for the people watching. Now we've got a long stretch here of these new neon lights which stretch down probably about 100 meters down there. I think they've replaced the Thank You NHS area, and I've just had a look. They're basically to help modernize the lights and just, you know, modernize the illuminations, to be fair with you. The only thing I will say is, although they look nice and they're multicolor and they change color, they sort of lack the, I don't know, classic illumination, you know, either the dancing girls or you know, some of the really old sort of portraits they have up the top. I mean, there's modernising and then there's sort of taking over. I think in these gaps here, rather than, you know, I think we've just said it looks like an 80s sort of arc there, just to have something here, you know, a classic sort of cabaret, you know, which is really what Blackpool's symbolic for, would have been a nice touch. But of course, I mean, they are new, they can be added to at any point. I do understand that. And you do wonder as well, I mean, since we last come up, the spyglass building has been done. You do wonder, with all these beams across the front, whether they even take into account that this massive illuminations that attracts lots of people looking at your businesses pay a lot of money to have advertising along here as well. You always see the jewellers down the bottom, as well as Sooty and Sweep, among many others. Whether or not they actually factor that into account, because if that was illuminated massively, everyone would go, oh, look at this, look at the spyglass building, that looks incredible. As it is, by the time this video is even uploaded, I won't remember what that building's called. And that's the kind of thing that you know, I never understand. The amusements here, the Golden Mile amusements, I'm quite sure they've got some new LED lights for this year. I don't remember them being like that, or certainly programmed like that last year. And they match these new neon lights as well, just add a little bit more variety to them. Actually a really nice variety too. And of course Coral Island has always been popular with lights across the front, and of course the main entrance building over there. So yeah, it's good to see the new neon lights. I think I'd like to have seen a little bit more retro involved as well, really celebrating what the Illuminations have been for the past 100 years. But it does still look really good. Merlin of course operate the Blackpool Tower, which you can see illuminated there, and again, you know, the sea life has had a complete new frontage of recent time, as has Madame Tussauds down there. And yet again, we've just sort of, there's no lights. I mean, there's advertising through their own screens, I get that, but imagine if the sea life sign was illuminated, the actual you know, just the words illuminated, it would look incredible. Here comes the train. Is he stopping? Or is he worried that he's going to run someone over? But of course this is a classic of the Blackpool Illuminations. There is a tram as well that goes up and down. I say tram, it is a tram, I understand that. But there's a single tram that goes up and down as well, which I think was sponsored by the RNLI. Haven't seen that yet tonight, but that usually comes as well. But yeah, just something. Come on Merlin, look what you've done with the tower. As the traffic builds up and the cars steam through, these are what I would call classic designs here. Look at these, look. Only in Blackpool. They're not wrong. And then you've got sort of the waves coming across, which actually from here look really, really cool as you look down the strip. And 10p bingo. There is the more iconic shot there as we cross and not get hit by a tram. Of course, of the wheel and the tower. The wheel nicely lit up from this side. You can tell it's got all new LEDs on. Does look fantastic. Central Pier in full flow tonight. So even though these ones are more modern, again, these bits on the side just make it feel a little bit more retro than the ones down the end. Now we've got no focal point today because unfortunately the south here just seems to be completely shut up. We're really hoping to get on a break dance, and they've got some nice lights on the coaster as well as the towers, the bungee towers. But yeah, and in addition, straight ahead should be the big one. And you might be able to see just a little red light at the top. That's not lit up either. No idea why, to be fair. But we're certainly enjoying this. This is a good side to be walking between the trams and the road. Getting a great view of the lights. As we get closer down to the pleasure beach, these are what I would call your classic Blackpool lights. The cabaret. And they stretch for quite a long way down here. Some of them have been updated with some new LED lights, but some of them have still got the old classic sort of fans there you can see go. Love them, absolutely love them. Although it is great walking the strip to see these, it is quite punishing on the feet, I can tell you. And we only started halfway. But as we come to the end of the cabaret girls, or certainly these ones, we move on to I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. And then of course Sooty. I mean, this town does seem fascinated with Sooty's show. Sooty, Sweep and Sue. Absolutely fascinated. I've never really understood it, to be honest with you. I remember watching it when I was young. I didn't realise they were still relevant, but I guess they are. They've got some nice neon lights going around the outside of them. I think these are mirror balls, aren't they? I don't know whether they used to spin at some point. to create the disco effect on the floor or not. And here is the sooties. Is it Richard Cadnell? Owns quite a few of the quite a few things kicking around before we go down to the modern circus ones. Blackpool has a lot of history with the circus. Of course, Blackpool Circus in the Tower has been going many years. Of course, even in my lifetime, although they're not pictured here by any means, although one of them does have a whip down there, in my lifetime of live animals, including, you know, big cats, panthers, I think, gorillas, tigers, and this one is advertising the Blackpool Circus. Not so much now, obviously, not only with law changes, but common sense, that animals aren't performing tricks, certainly big cats and things, that they're no longer included in travelling circus shows across the country. But again, this is what really dictates and, you know, pictures Blackpool, the amazing circus back in the Tower. Now here is the South Pier, although it's closed for rides tonight, which is a bit of a shame. I really want to go on the breakdance and see some of the new signage it's got at night. As you can see, since we came even during the summer a month or so ago, it has had a complete facelift on the front with some new LED lighting. They're still doing some bits. I don't think it's complete by any means. You can't quite read what's in the middle, but it is looking really good. And as you head down there, that is Blackpool Pleasure Beach right there. As we said, that's not illuminated either today. And you do find down here as well is where you get quite a lot of sponsored ones. You've got City Fibre there, down to the flashing ones, including Nickelodeon. Right, so that's where we leave this part of the video, and we're now going to go get in the car and drive the lights. So we'll give you some footage of what we've just seen as we go down, including that stunning shot down there of obviously the wheel and the Blackpool Tower. And then we'll head down the back end as well, and we'll show you some of the really older models which they've got down the bottom, including, you know, the haunted house as we drive down to the other end. But I love Blackpool Illuminations. And I have to say, it's not that busy tonight, so sometimes driving it can take an hour and a half, but I think tonight we might make some good progress.